The Soviet Union was not given the attention it deserved, and this allowed North Korea to dominate South Korea and the United States. The Americans did not give enough support to South Korea. The United States lost this war by underestimating the power and fighting capability of North Korea. The United States underestimated the domino theory because they did not get involved as greatly as they should have in this war. If they really, really wanted to stop the domino theory, they would have went all out in Korea. The textbook states, soon after World War II, the United States had cut back its armed forces in South Korea. By June of 1949, there were only 500 troops there. With World War II just ending, the United States thought they could relax from war, but the Soviets, specifically communism, saw an opportunity. Communism was sweeping through Asia. Communism just took over China and now had Korea under its siege. South Korea was already being helped by the United Nations. The United Nations was an organization focused on helping others and creating world peace. The United Nations was in South Korea, organizing elections because both Koreas were corrupt. The Soviet Union took advantage of the corrupt North Korea because they shared a border and began spreading communism in North Korea. Countries with poor people were a key target for communism. Kim Il-sung was North Korea's leader, and he decided to attack South Korea. North Korea had more well-trained troops and invaded South Korea's capital, Seoul, easily on June 25, 1950. North Korea pushed South Korea and the United Nations all the way back to the Pusan Peninsula by June 1950. The Americans get involved right after this and push the North Koreans out of Seoul with the invasion of Incheon in September 1950. The South Koreans, United Nations, and USA pushed North Korea, China, and the Soviet Union to the Yalu River, which is on the border of North Korea and China. The Americans accidentally bombed China, who had been waiting on the Yalu River with 400,000 troops and a ton of infantry ready to fight. China added another 400,000 troops to get a total of 800,000 troops to fight against South Korea. The UN and the USA. North Korea pushes South Korea to the 38th parallel, which splits North and South Korea into two separate nations. The rest of the fighting, which lasts until November 1951, takes place across the 38th parallel. The United States could not defeat North Korea, and South Korea gave up fighting to make a peace treaty. The United States did not get involved immediately, and allowed the Soviets to get what they wanted, another area with communism. This country being North Korea. North Korea had an easier invasion and lighter war because they got more support from China and the Soviet Union. China gave more troops than anyone else fighting in this war. South Korea got little help from the UN and United States compared to how greatly the Soviets and China helped North Korea. The United States gave up fighting out of embarrassment for not showing that they are world superpowers. And Russia were even superpowers with the United States, and the United States was no longer number one.
My sources were Mr. Parkin and the textbook.